The first thing you did after being reborn was dig up the grave of the school beauty, Liu Ruxue. You climbed into the coffin, embraced her corpse, and began kissing her cherry-red lips frantically. You did this because, in 2.5 days, a bizarre power would descend upon the world. At that time, all dead souls would revive. Because Liu Ruxu was buried in a red wedding dress and died with lingering resentment, she would transform into the zombie ancestor Hanba the moment the apocalypse began. After transforming into Hanba, she became the most terrifying existence in the entire Dragon Country. Later, someone used a deduction ability to calculate a way to defeat her, catch her off guard, and kiss her. As long as you could kiss Liu Ruxu while she had her zombie fangs, you would gain power equal to hers. However, this method only sounded simple. In reality, it was nearly impossible. Let alone kissing her, just getting slightly close would result in being sucked into a dry corpse by her aura. Therefore, in the decades of the apocalypse, no one had ever succeeded. Now that you have returned via rebirth, you naturally have to attempt to gain Liu Ruxue's power. If you succeed, you will become the most terrifying existence in the apocalypse. You are confident because the current Liu Ruxu is just a corpse. She hasn't become the true Hanba yet. You can kiss her however you want. To be safe, you decided to enter the coffin early and kiss her for 3 days and 3 nights straight. With excitement, you pried open the coffin lid. Perhaps due to the influence of the bizarre energy, there was no sign of decay on her body. Her eyes were closed as if she were merely sleeping, and her stunning face captivated you completely. After 2.5 minutes, you finally snapped out of it, threw away the shovel, and lay down in the coffin. Liu Ruxu was slender, so the coffin had enough space for both of you. As you closed the lid, your vision plunged into darkness, but you felt no fear, only enjoyment. Liu Ruxu was the acknowledged school beauty when she was alive. You had never been in a room with such a beautiful woman, let alone pressed so tightly against her. Business first, you thought. You pulled Liu Ruxu into your arms and kissed her small mouth. Her lips were ice cold, but not stiff. They were surprisingly soft. You completely immersed yourself in this rare tenderness. Time passed quietly. 2.5 minutes later, Liu Ruxu's body suddenly twitched. You frowned. Did she revive early? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Although her body is affected by the energy, she still needs time to become the true Hanba. Maybe it's a hallucination caused by lack of oxygen, you thought, holding her face and continuing to gnaw wildly. Suddenly, a sharp pain struck. Liu Ruxu had actually bitten your lip. It felt like she used every ounce of strength she had, then blood instantly flowed from the corner of your mouth. But you didn't panic. Instead, you bit her back. Liu Ruxu had been dignified all her. She seemed to be silently calling you shameless. Meanwhile, in the chaotic graveyard nearby, a man and a woman were approaching. The man was in his 30s, wearing a yellow monk's robe with a lecherous look. The girl was under 20, wearing a white dress, looking innocent. She spoke in a delicate, whining voice to the monk. Master Kongshu, this Liu Ruxu actually committed suicide in a red wedding dress, saying she wouldn't let me go even as a ghost. Boo-hoo, you must help me. Master Kongshu looked relaxed. Amitabha, this poor monk has been slaying demons for 80 years, be it vengeful ghosts or zombies, I handle them easily. Moreover, I brought a peachwood sword specially for this. There is no way I cannot handle her. As he spoke, he slid his hand onto the girl's waist, enjoying the silky softness. The smile on Master Kongshu's face deepened. Although the girl looked uncomfortable, she didn't refuse, which made him bolder. His wandering hands moved to inappropriate places. Suppressing her disgust, the girl said charmingly, "Oh, master, don't be in a rush. As long as you get rid of Liu Ruxu, I am all yours." This girl was named Ji Ru. Like Liu Ruxu, she was a student at Jianghai University of Science and Technology. Jealous of Liu Ruxu's beauty, Ji Ru had united a group of girls to bully her, causing trouble for her repeatedly. No one expected Liu Ruxu to commit suicide, leaving a will to be buried in a red wedding dress in a mass grave, just to become a vengeful spirit and seek revenge on Ji Ru. Terrified, Ji Ru found Kongshu to perform a ritual to send Liu Ruxu to the afterlife. But when the two saw the dug-up grave, they froze. What happened? Did Liu Ruxu reanimate? Ji Ru asked in terror. Kongshu was also panicked. He was a fake monk with no real powers, only here to take advantage of the girl. This scene scared him so much he almost wet his diaper. Amitabha, the yin energy is too heavy. Let us return tomorrow, Kongshu said, feigning calm. Ji Ru looked annoyed. You already touched me, and now you want to run before doing the job? Fine, this poor monk will go take a look. Helplessly, Master Kongshu took his peachwood sword and approached the coffin cautiously. Today was July 15th, Ghost Festival. The moonlight shining on the red coffin looked exceptionally eerie. Just as Kongshu approached, the world suddenly changed. The bright moon turned blood red. The entire world seemed soaked in blood, resembling hell. What's happening? Why is the moon red? Kongshu stepped back. As soon as he spoke, thunder crashed. Black rain poured down, not washing away the filth, but bringing endless disaster. The bizarre power erupted completely. Countless dead souls revived, transforming into terrifying demons to hunt all humans. However, humans were not without hope. After the revival, everyone had a chance to awaken blood crests, each representing a powerful ability. Some could even awaken multiple crests, becoming top-tier existences. Seeing this, Master Kongshu panicked completely. Ignoring Ji Ru, he threw his gear and ran. Ji Ru screamed and chased after him. At that moment, a change occurred inside the coffin. Liao Rexu's body emitted a strange energy, becoming scalding hot as if burning. You didn't have time to think. You just kept kissing. You grabbed her head and planted another one on her, but immediately you noticed something wrong. Sharp fangs had grown in her mouth. Zombie fangs. Confirmed. Her body was mutating, and this mutation was spreading to you. Terrifying power surged into you. Instantly, you felt bone-deep pain, as if every cell was being sliced and your soul torn apart. Under the violent power, your body stiffened. An immortal, indestructible body, the first step to becoming a zombie. But then you realized your consciousness was fading, as if you hadn't slept for 3 days. You realized the bizarre power was invading your mind. If you couldn't withstand it, you would become a mindless zombie. Zombies are strong but lack intelligence. You fought hard to maintain your awareness. 2.5 minutes later, your body became pale as paper. Your pupils turned blood red and your black hair turned silver white. You radiated a murderous aura, and a pair of pitch-black wings burst from your back. You survived, and you obtained the power of Zhengchen. You finally understood the situation. Liu Roxu had become Hanba, the drought demon, while you had become Zhengchen. Zhengchen is one of the 4 zombie ancestors, arguably the strongest. Legends say Zhengchen was formed from the essence of Pangu, the creator god. Even if that isn't true, it signifies immense power. Feeling the power within, you were ecstatic. Immense strength combined with human intelligence. Who in this world could stop you? You kicked the coffin lid open and broke out. Liu Ruxo flew out right behind you, her eyes filled with killing intent, staring dead at you. You frowned. If you remembered correctly, in your past life, Liu Ruxu had no human consciousness after becoming Hanba, only hatred. The first thing she did was go to the university and kill everyone who bullied her. But in this life, you forcibly kissed her for hours to steal her power. She probably wants revenge on you now. You circulated your power. If she attacked, you would strike back. The world had changed. Only the strong had the right to live. Liu Ruxu's eyes turned red, emitting endless killing intent. The surrounding temperature rose, and the ground beneath her feet turned to magma. Is this the power of Hanba? You roared and levitated. I may have gained this power because of you, but if you want to kill me, don't blame me for being ruthless. You flashed forward, appearing instantly in front of her and grabbed her by the throat. Your Zombie King aura completely enveloped her. Unlike Hanba, who controls weather and drought, you, as Zhengchen, possess the exclusive pressure of a Zombie King, like an emperor to his subjects. No matter how strong she was, she had to submit. Simply put, she was a ranged mage, and you were a melee god. Feeling your domineering aura, Liu Ruxu instantly lost the will to resist. Her arrogance vanished, replaced by the docility of a lamb, though her eyes still held a trace of resentment. You leaned to her ear and whispered, "Can you understand me?" She didn't answer, her eyes looking confused. You shook your head. It seemed she didn't have self-awareness. That was the difference between you two. She died and was revived by the energy, making her little different from other demons. You, however, used her to become Zhengchen while keeping your soul intact. Since that's the case, let's test my new ability. You bit down on her neck. Her neck, like a white swan's, was slender and beautiful even in death. Without mercy, your fangs pierced her skin. Her body trembled instinctively, but under your pressure, she couldn't resist. 2.5 minutes later, you slowly released her. As Jiang Chen, you possessed 3 abilities. Zombie King Aura suppresses all beings, can infect humans into zombies and place a master/servant seal on them. Indestructible Body, immense physical strength, regenerating life through blood. Slaughter Purification, killing living beings, increases your power with no side effects. You just used the first ability on her. Since she was already a zombie of similar rank, you weren't sure if the seal would work. You looked her up and down. Her pale, bloodless face possessed a bizarre beauty. Suddenly, a mental connection formed between you and her. It worked! With this connection, you could order her to do anything, and she couldn't resist. A man and a woman alone. If you were weak-willed, you might try something, but not now. While in the coffin, you heard people outside. Their conversation was clear to you. Your eyes turned dark. In that case, let's help you get revenge first. You looked into the distance. With your new powers, your vision was superhuman. You instantly locked onto Master Kong Shu and Ji Ru running away. You flapped your wings and flew toward them. And your new underling, Liu Ruxui, followed obediently behind. 1 kilometer away. Master Kong Shu, after running for 2.5 minutes, was exhausted. He gasped for air, looking back. You damn monk, you're unreliable, leaving a weak woman behind. Ji Ru caught up, glaring at him. I was scared. Who wouldn't be scared of a reanimated corpse? Kong Shu argued. Then, he smiled lecherously. The rain had soaked Ji Ru's white dress, making it translucent. Amitabha, benefactor, Liu Ruxu won't catch up for a while. Why don't we discuss the meaning of life together? Ji Ru was furious. If he had actually killed the zombie, she might have let him have his way. But his cowardice disgusted her. Just as she was about to explode, she saw something behind him. A corpse was slowly crawling out of the dirt. Ji Ru screamed, wet herself, and collapsed to the ground. Ah! Kong Shu looked back and almost died of fright. A hideous demon was right there. FCK, a monster. He grabbed Ji Ru and ran, but stopped after 2.5 seconds. They were surrounded. Dozens of demons were crawling out of the earth. These were low-level monsters without intelligence, driven only by the urge to kill. Master, do something! Kill them! Ji Ru screamed. Kong Shu stammered. He was a con artist. He didn't know how to fight real monsters. Damn it! He gritted his teeth and stabbed the demon with his peachwood sword. It did nothing. Damn, I shouldn't have bought this sword on Pinshi discount app, he regretted. But it was too late. The demon swarmed him like a tide. Before he could scream, he vanished from this world. Ji Ru broke down. Mom, I want to go home. Someone save me. I don't want to die. After eating the monk, the demons turned toward her. She closed her eyes, waiting for death. But 2.5 minutes later, nothing happened. She opened her eyes in confusion. Why am I not dead? Suddenly, a tall, handsome figure, imposing as a god, appeared before her. He radiated a powerful pressure. He moved his hand, and a blood-red light erupted. The demons were torn to shreds instantly. Ji Ru was overjoyed. Someone saved me. The savior was, of course, you. It took you only 2.5 seconds to kill all the monsters. These were merely F&G rank trash. Handsome, thank you. I'm Ji Ru. What's your name? She looked at you with infatuation. Despite her fear and ruined makeup, she was still pretty. You don't need to thank me. I just didn't want you to die so soon, you said. Ji Ru felt the sentence was odd but ignored it. She rubbed against your arm. Can you protect me from now on? I'll do anything for you. I'll be your cow or horse. She used her body to tempt you. Most men would fall for it, but you were not normal. A pair of jade arms meant for 1,000 pillows. A pair of lips tasted by 10,000 men. It's just 2 ounces of rotten meat. With that, you grabbed her by her chest and threw her 2.5 meters away without mercy. Ow! Ji Ru cried, looking at you with resentment. Handsome! What do you mean? You hurt me. You glanced at her coldly. Nothing. My strength isn't enough to protect you, but I have a friend. You should know her. She can definitely protect you. Ji Ru's eyes lit up. Who? He pointed behind her. She's right there. Ji Ru turned around. With just one look, she wet her diaper again. Standing there was Liu Ruxu in her red wedding dress. Ji Ru screamed and tried to run, but she was too weak. Liu Ruxu flickered and blocked her path, choking her by the neck. Ji Yuru struggled, but Liu Ruxu's slender arm held terrifying strength. I'm sore." Ji Yuru tried to apologize, but it was too late. She finally realized why you saved her, to let Liu Ruxu take revenge personally. Soon, Ji Yuru croaked. Liu Ruxu tossed her aside like a dead dog. Her murderous eyes returned to calm. Just then, the corpses of the slain demons began to emit a strange red light. "What is this?" You had never seen this before. Suddenly, all the demon corpses turned into red orbs of light and surged into your body. You tried to resist, but felt no danger. As the light entered you, your power began to rise. You realized quickly, this was your third ability, slaughter purification, killing enemies to purify yourself and gain strength. And these demons seemed special. From this point on, the energy would merge directly into your body to enhance your strength. In that case, what am I waiting for? You scanned the entire chaotic graveyard, a smile appearing on your face. To others, this graveyard was a place of great terror and ominous danger. But for you, it was the best farming spot. A preliminary estimate suggested there were at least tens of thousands of demons here. Looking at this potentially devastating scene, the smile on your face grew intense. You shouted, and a burst of red light erupted from your body. F-rank demons were completely vulnerable before you. Only a small number of E-rank demons could put up a slight fight, but they ultimately could not escape death. Seeing you attack, Liu Ruxu joined the battle. As a Hanba, drought demon, she possessed the power to control the weather. Magma instantly erupted around her, easily wiping out large groups of demons. This scene made you slightly envious. In a 1v1 duel, you were definitely stronger, as few could withstand your king's aura. But when it came to the efficiency of farming monsters, Liu Ruxu was superior. The battle continued. One by one, demons turned into pure energy and surged into your body. Suddenly, your lower abdomen felt hot. Then, it felt as if every pore in your body opened up. An intense sensation of stimulation hit your brain instantly. Breakthrough. I actually broke the limit. According to the ranking system for human blood crest wielders, you should be at rank 2 now. But your true combat power far exceeded that. You knew very well that you were an anomaly. You were neither a demon nor a blood crest wielder. Blood crest wielders needed to constantly comprehend themselves to break through rank 1. But you didn't need that at all. You only needed to slaughter to increase your strength. In your past life, the strongest blood crest wielder was a rank 9 existence. You wondered how powerful you would be once you broke through to rank 9. You couldn't help but think of a person from your past life, the Empress. She appeared out of nowhere and awakened 18 blood crests simultaneously. In just 3 years, she stepped into rank 9. She could handle countless demons alone. Her appearance was undoubtedly humanity's last hope. Compared to her in your past life, you were like a firefly comparing itself to the bright moon. But now that you have transformed into Zhang Chen, you were absolutely confident that you could surpass the Empress in a short time, or even completely crush her. Just then, another large batch of demons crawled out from underground. Seeing this, you laughed out loud. These were all brimming experience points. You flashed into the horde of demons and excitedly began the slaughter. In just 2.5 hours, you solved tens of thousands of demons. Liu Ruxu was even faster. She had killed over 100,000. The speed at which the demons appeared couldn't even keep up with Liu Ruxu's killing speed. Furthermore, you discovered that Liu Ruxu seemed to share some of your abilities. The demons she killed also converted into experience points for you. Because of this, it took you only 2.5 hours to reach rank 3. You glanced at the few remaining demons and decided to change locations to farm experience. In this world, the one thing not in short supply was demons. There was no need to guard this spot and wait for them to revive one by one. Your university, the University of Science and Technology, was built atop a mass grave. It was massive, and who knows how many people were buried there. If nothing unexpected happened, that should be the place with the most demons. Thinking of this, you didn't hesitate and walked directly toward the school. But after walking just 2.5 meters, you detected an exceptionally powerful aura rapidly approaching. Preliminary estimates suggested it was a rank 1 demon. The next second, 2 figures appeared before your eyes. In front was a woman wearing a white dress. She looked miserable. The hem of her dress was soaked with a large amount of viscous blood. You smiled. She was a blood crest wielder. With just one look, you confirmed her identity. There was a blood-red, 9-tailed fox pattern on her chest, the mark of a blood crest wielder. At this moment, the woman was running for her life because a terrifying demon was following her. The demon wore a black dragon robe, his body radiating thick black energy, and he held a black longsword. It was actually a rank 1 demon, the Warring States Zombie King. You had seen the terror of this demon in your past life. He was an emperor from the Warring States period. Revived by the bizarre power, he was not only strong, but also possessed a unique imperial ability. In that regard, he was somewhat similar to you. In your past life, the Warring States Zombie King was terrifying, and humans couldn't handle him. But now, you weren't afraid at all. In your past life, Liu Ruxu had wiped him out with a wave of her hand. Since she could easily kill him then, she could do it now. The woman in white was getting closer. Perhaps because she was too nervous, she didn't notice your presence and slammed directly into you. Your physical body was powerful and immune to pain, but the woman in white suffered. Hitting you was like hitting a steel plate. She was instantly bounced away. The woman screamed and looked at you, panting. "Run! Quick, there's a monster behind me." Hearing this, you couldn't help but tease, "Then do you think I am a monster?" The woman in white finally noticed something was wrong. This was a chaotic graveyard, surrounded by mounds. Although you looked like a living person, your skin was pale without a trace of blood, you had long silver hair, and even your eyes were blood red. Realizing this, the woman mentally collapsed. She didn't know why she was so unlucky. A zombie king was chasing her, and now another demon appeared to block her path. "Heaven wants me, Liu Yi, to die. I clearly awakened a protagonist template, yet I'm going to die miserably in this graveyard? I'm so unwilling." Hearing her mutter, you were speechless. This girl looked quiet and refined, but why was she so chunibyu, delusional? However, people who awaken blood crests are 1 in a million, so calling herself a protagonist wasn't an exaggeration. Soon, the Warring States Zombie King arrived in front of you. His body was rotting, emitting a cold, gloomy aura. Upon seeing you, he didn't attack rashly. Instead, he sized you up constantly. Don't be rash. Demons already possess a certain level of intelligence. The longer they live, the smarter they get. In the later stages, powerful demons are no different from humans. At the same time, you were sizing him up, perhaps because he had just revived. His strength was still weak. You waved your hand, signaling Liu Ruxu to deal with him. You didn't even need to lift a finger for trash like this. Liu Ruxu could solve it easily. Just then, the Warring States Zombie King suddenly spoke. "That brat stole my item. You take it back, and we are allies." A cold, hoarse voice came from his mouth. It was language, but it sounded more like the whispers of a devil. You sneered. "You already possess preliminary intelligence? Then I really can't let you continue to grow, or you'll definitely be a threat later." As soon as you finished speaking, Liu Ruxu attacked. Her body instantly erupted with a scorching aura. The world seemed to change shape at that moment as streams of hot magma shot toward the Warring States Zombie King. The Zombie King stiffened and hurriedly waved the longsword in his hand. A purple dragon phantom appeared, blocking Liu Ruxu's attack. Immediately after, several more purple dragons appeared, rushing toward Liu Ruxu as if to swallow her whole. However, you didn't panic. Although the Warring States Zombie King was strong, he was still a bit lacking to take on Liu Ruxu. Suddenly, streaks of fire snakes appeared around Liu Ruxu. Flicking their tongues, these fire snakes showed no fear, even when facing the purple dragons that were countless times larger than them. The next second, countless fire snakes attacked the purple dragons. These fire snakes seemed to possess terrifying corrosive properties, burning the purple dragons directly. Using the dragons as fuel, the snakes became even more terrifying. "Die!" Liu Ruxu spat out a single word. Immediately, the fire snakes completely engulfed the Warring States Zombie King. He screamed and lost the ability to resist. Just as his soul was about to dissipate, you hurriedly ordered Liu Ruxu to withdraw the flames. You grabbed the Zombie King by the neck, your sharp fingernails piercing his flesh. The next second, a drop of Jiangchen's essence blood flowed into the Warring States Zombie King's body. The most basic ability of a zombie is infection, converting all life into one's own kind. As the Zombie King Jiangchen, you had the power to command all zombies. This Warring States Zombie King wasn't weak. Rather than letting him die, it was better to make him your subordinate. After receiving your essence blood, the Warring States Zombie King's body underwent constant modification. His original injuries healed rapidly, and a connection to you formed in his consciousness. From this moment on, his life was completely in your hands. If you wished, a single thought could erase him. Master! The Warring States Zombie King looked at you with numb eyes. You nodded in satisfaction. He was originally a rank 1 demon, but after the modification, he reached S rank. Even Liu Ruxu in her past life was only double S rank. The current Warring States Zombie King was strong enough to destroy all of humanity. You looked at Liu Yi nearby. Now it's your turn. Big brother, don't kill me. I'm very valuable. If you keep me, I can warm your bed. Witnessing the whole process, Liu Yi trembled in fear. This man was too intimidating. The terrifying zombie king couldn't even stand against the woman beside him. And if such a powerful woman was willing to follow this man, how strong must he be? I heard you robbed this zombie king. What was it? Show me. You said with interest. Liu Yi looked aggrieved. I'm innocent, big brother. I just saw a fruit tree with a red fruit on it. I was thirsty, so I picked it and ate it. Just after I ate it, this ghost thing crawled out of the ground and chased me. Hearing this, you immediately asked, what kind of fruit? Did you feel hot all over after eating it? Yes, big brother. Have you eaten it too? You didn't speak, but stared at the strange blood crest on Liu Yi's chest. It was the pattern of a 9-tailed fox, currently emitting a strange glow. Feeling your gaze, Liu Yi stepped back in fear, but she bumped directly into Liu Ruxu. The two locked eyes. Liu Ruxu's eyes, full of killing intent, almost made Liu Yuffie wet her pants. She shuddered, deciding she felt safer next to you. Sure enough, you consumed a magical fruit, you said helplessly. A magical fruit is a very special item. If a normal person eats it, they become a bloodcrest wielder. If a bloodcrest wielder eats it, there is a probability of strengthening their crest. And if a demon gets one, their terror level increases drastically. You didn't expect this Chunabu girl to be so lucky, eating a magical fruit on the first day of the apocalypse. You said with some envy, silly people really do have silly luck. Big brother, what did you say? Liu Yi looked at you confusedly. Nothing. You follow me from now on. Give me your finger. Although afraid, Liu Yi didn't resist. She tremblingly extended a slender finger. The moment your sharp nail broke her skin, a connection formed between you and her. But you didn't turn her into a zombie. You had too many zombies around you. Having a living human for balance wasn't bad. Liu Yi didn't feel anything strange, only that you looked much more pleasing to the eye than before. Big brother, I'm your #1 underling now. What's your name? Is this sister-in-law? Is sister-in-law a zombie too? Her skin is so white, I'm so envious. Now that the tension was gone, Liu Yi became a chatterbox, babbling endlessly. Just as you wanted to say something, you heard footsteps all around. The next second, over 100 bloodcrest wielders surrounded you. You frowned. You had just been reborn, finally obtained Jiang Chen's power, and subdued 2 beauties and a top-tier monster. Was the government targeting you just as your good life began, sending hundreds of bloodcrest wielders just to eliminate you early? Although surprised, you weren't nervous. With your current strength, you could wipe out thousands of them with a snap of your fingers. But before you could act, Liu Yi rolled up her sleeves and stood in front of you. Big brother, don't fear. Your little brother will protect you. Saying that, she prepared to activate her bloodcrest avatar and fight these people to the death. You were speechless. You grabbed her high ponytail from behind. Even if you want to die, no need to rush. Get back there. Hearing this, Liu Yi smiled immediately and scurried behind you to hide. Just as you were about to attack, a young man in a combat uniform walked over. He saluted you and said, "You must be Zhu Haiyoshan. I am Zhao Shan, captain of the Zhanghai City Bloodcrest Squad. According to our detection, a terrifying demon has appeared nearby. Captain Lai sent us specially to assist you." It turned out that 2.5 hours ago, Captain Li of the Zhanghai Military District saw the terrifying power displayed by you and Liu Ruxue via satellite surveillance and wanted to recruit you. Since the bizarre descent, humanity lacked bloodcrest wielders the most. If a powerhouse like you joined the military, the disaster could be quelled quickly. Coincidentally, the Warring States Zombie King appeared. Captain Lai knew this was his chance to show goodwill, thinking that even you might struggle against a rank 1 demon. So he sent the squad to support you. Learning the truth, you nodded with a smile. It was a misunderstanding, but you also realized the military was watching you. It was unavoidable. In the early days of the apocalypse, the military was the strongest force, eventually establishing many shelters. In your past life, without military protection, you would have died on day 1. You pointed at the warring state's zombie king nearby. Captain Zhao. Is the terrifying demon you mentioned him? Zhao Shan was stunned. He looked in the direction you pointed. It had been too dark to see clearly before, but now, up close, Zhao Shan's eyes widened. Standing not far away was a tall, burly corpse in a tattered dragon robe. Its skin was rotten and pale, its eyes hollow and numb, yet it radiated a terrifying aura. Holy SH*T, is that an S-rank demon? No, it seems even stronger than S-rank. Zhao Shan sucked in a breath of cold air and hurriedly retreated 2.5 meters. But then he noticed something odd. Why is this demon so well behaved? Why isn't it attacking? Seeing his confusion, you smiled and explained, I've already subdued this demon. But thank you anyway. Zhao Shan's face was full of disbelief. Big brother, you're amazing! You can even tame a demon of this level? Then he looked at Liu Ruxu. The woman had a pale face and eyes revealing a strange blood-red color. Just one look gave Zhao Shan goosebumps. She didn't feel like a living person at all. She felt more like a zombie. Suddenly, Liu Ruxu turned to look at Zhao Shan. Their eyes met, and intense killing intent filled the air. Zhao Shan almost cried out in fear. What are these things? They look even scarier than the demons. He quickly looked away and turned to Liu Yi. She was hiding behind you, looking harmless. Aside from some bloodstains, she looked like the girl next door. But Zhao Shan wasn't fooled. Would there be good people next to a demon? Maybe this Liu Yi is the most terrifying of them all, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Thinking this, Zhao Shan subconsciously moved away from Liu Yi. Is there anything else? You suddenly asked. No, nothing else. Just now that the disaster has erupted, are you interested in joining the military, big brother, to contribute to humanity? Sorry, I have no such intention. You rejected him swiftly. With your strength, you could create a force larger than the military. Joining them would only restrict you. Big brother, won't you reconsider? Zhao Shan asked, unwilling to give up. You didn't speak but waved your hand, telling him to get lost. Zhao Shan didn't dare say more. The gap in strength was too big. A boss who could tame the warring state's zombie king could crush him like an ant. Just then, Zhao Shan's walkie-talkie rang. Report! A demon horde has erupted at the University of Science and Technology. Preliminary estimates say over 10,000 demons have appeared. The strongest is B rank or higher. An urgent voice came through. Zhao Shan frowned. 10,000 demons. That was an astronomical number. If they were F rank, the squad could handle it. But B rank demons required rank 2 Bloodcrest wielders to counter. Zhao Shan looked at you sheepishly, obviously wanting help. You understood his thought. You intended to go to the university anyway, so you might as well do the military a favor. I happen to be going to the university. I'll solve this for you along the way. Hearing this, Zhao Shan looked grateful. Thank you, big brother. You are truly a savior of the people. Your mouth twitched. Ignoring the idiot, you leaped up and flew toward Shanghai University of Science and Technology. With wings on your back, you flew incredibly fast, outpacing even high-performance supercars. Carrying Liu Yi in one hand, you arrived above the university in just 2.5 minutes. The entire school had been invaded by demons. You didn't attack immediately, but observed the situation. There were exactly 142 demons, but only 18.5 students who had awakened as Bloodcrest wielders. You didn't plan to wait. You raised your hand to wipe them out, but suddenly, you noticed something strange about Liu Ruxu. Upon arriving at the university, she radiated intense killing intent. Suddenly, she rushed toward a corner, the location of the girls' dormitory. Liu Ruxu was going for revenge. She was bullied before death and chose to become a vengeful spirit to pay them back. She had killed the ringleader, Jiyu Ru, but surely others were involved. You wouldn't stop her revenge. In the apocalypse, human life is cheaper than grass. Even if Liu Ruxu didn't kill them, they would die elsewhere. At that moment, Liu Yi's tearful voice rang out. Big brother, can you let me go? My hair hurts. She looked aggrieved, her big eyes pitiful, looking as if she were about to cry. Ah, I almost forgot about you. You revealed a cryptic smile, looked down at the endless sea of demons below, found the densest spot, and threw Liu Yi directly into it. Holy SH*T. Big brother, you're murdering your own little sister. Liu Yi screamed. Splat! She hit the ground hard. I count as a beauty, you know. How can you have no tenderness for the fairer sex? What if I actually died from the fall? Liu Yi complained while rubbing her butt, but the next second she was dumbfounded. She had been locked onto by countless demons. There are so many demons, what should I do? Oh right, this young miss can transform. Liu Yi immediately activated the power of her blood crest. The pattern on her chest emitted a red light. Immediately afterward, her entire person changed completely. A white light enveloped her, forming something akin to armor, and 9 white tails grew out from behind her. These tails were incredibly enchanting. Even the surrounding demons looked dazed upon seeing them. Kinkyu Nether Fire! Liu Yi activated her supernatural ability. A cluster of pale green flames emerged around her and shot toward the surrounding demons. The effect of the fire was obvious. It easily killed any demon it touched. Holy sh*T, I'm so strong. Why didn't I realize this before? In that case, what do I have to fear? If heaven does not birth me, Liu Yi, the ages will be as dark as a long night. Die, all of you. At this moment, Liu Yi was incredibly arrogant, and a wave of chunibyu, delusional/edgy energy erupted from her body. Meanwhile, at the girls' dormitory, the surviving students were all hiding on the rooftop. More than a dozen girls were huddled on the ground, looking nervous and terrified. Aside from them, a boy with dyed yellow hair was lying in the corner. His name was Wang Ergu. He was a sophomore at the university. Before the disaster broke out, he had snuck into the girls' dormitory, which is why he was here. Currently, he was holding a woman with a hot figure in his arms. The woman twisted her waist like a snake, rubbing against Wang Ergu constantly. 2.5 seconds later, Wang Ergu trembled and revealed a satisfied expression. Brother Gu, I love you so much. You must help me survive, the woman said, licking her seductive red lips. Don't worry, baby. Even if everyone else dies, I won't let you die. By the way, go check for me how many demons have gathered down there, Wang Ergu said meaningfully. Huh? Brother Gao, I don't want to. Those demons are too scary. I'm afraid, the woman said coyly. But Wang Ergu didn't care what she thought. He dragged her directly to the rooftop entrance. Between the 6th floor and the roof, there was only a small hatch accessible by a ladder. Although demons couldn't climb ladders, with so many gathering, there was a possibility they could pile up and reach the top. Damn, there are more and more demons. Sooner or later they'll get up here. Wang Ergu cursed in annoyance. What should we do then? Brother Gu, let's think of a way to leave, the woman said. Hearing this, a wicked smile suddenly appeared on Wang Ergu's face. Doesn't that depend on you? Saying that, he shoved the woman directly down the hatch. Wang Ergu, you bastard! The woman screamed as she fell. Wang Ergu looked down with a sneer. You're so loose down there, did you really think I liked you? After speaking, he leisurely walked away toward the other girls nearby. At this moment, Wang Ergu was extremely arrogant, browsing the girls as if he were a customer selecting merchandise. Suddenly, a girl with shoulder-length hair caught his attention. Her face wasn't stunning, but the great weapons on her chest were unmatched, possessing a momentum that could sweep away all obstacles. Wang Ergu hooked his finger lecherously. Hey you, come here. The girl looked terrified. You can't do this, it's against the law. Aren't you afraid of going to jail? Wang Ergu laughed. It's the apocalypse. Do you expect us to survive? Get your ass over here, or I'll throw you down to feed the monsters. As he spoke, a strange light flashed on Wang Ergu's arm. The next second, a layer of rock-like armor grew over his skin. Wang Ergu was also a Bloodcrest wielder, though his rank was only F-class. The effect was simple. It could harden his body temporarily. While useless against strong demons, it was more than enough to deal with ordinary humans. Seeing this, the long-haired girl had to give up resistance, lowering her head and sobbing continuously. Be a good girl and let me show you my might. Wang Ergu walked toward her. You will definitely go to hell, the girl screamed frantically. Go to hell? Ha 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 ha, look around you. Isn't this world already hell? Wang Ergu didn't care. He practicedly placed his hands on the girl's waist, ready to undress her. Boom! Suddenly, an explosion came from behind. Wang Ergu stopped and looked back, cursing angrily. Who the FCK is disturbing my good time? But as soon as the words fell, his face turned to horror. Standing in front of him was the supposedly dead Liu Ruxu. Their eyes met, and Wang Ergu was completely dumbfounded. Aren't you dead? A terrifying killing intent erupted from Liu Ruxu. From her hoarse throat, she spat out a single word. Revenge. The next second, moving like a ghost, she appeared instantly in front of Wang Ergo and choked him by the neck. "No, don't kill me. I didn't mean to. Who asked you to act so high and mighty all day? If you had just submitted to me earlier, would I have let Ji Ru get people to bully you?" Wang Ergo screamed in pain. He desperately tried to use his blood crest ability, but for some reason his strength felt pathetic before Liu Ruxu. He couldn't block her domineering power at all. Liu Ruxu's eyes held nothing but hatred. The other girls nearby looked at Liu Ruxu in terror, as if looking at a devil. Only the long-haired girl who was almost assaulted felt a sense of schadenfreude amidst her fear. If Liu Ruxu hadn't arrived in time, she would have been raped. Liu Ruxu squeezed harder, but she wasn't in a rush to kill Wang Ergu. She wanted to savor his pre-death struggle, like a cat playing with a mouse. "No, I can't die. I definitely can't die in your hands. Bloodcrest Avatar!" At the moment of death, a stronger power suddenly erupted from Wang Ergu's body. He was completely encased in rock, forming a strange suit of armor. This armor seemed invulnerable, and it began emitting black energy as if he were blackening, corrupting. Seeing this, a trace of surprise appeared on Liu Ruxu's face. Wang Ergu's situation was very rare, a 1 in 10,000 occurrence among blood crest wielders. His current state was known as a corrupted crest wielder, evil pattern. The blood crest on his body turned from red to black, granting him far greater power. As the saying goes, blackening makes you 10 times stronger. But this power came with a price. Once one became a corrupted crest wielder, it was hard to control the power. Eventually, the corruption would erode the mind, turning the user into a human-shaped demon. Wang Ergo roared loudly. "Don't think just because you're a reanimated corpse you can deal with me. I could kill you when you were alive, and I can kill you again now that you're dead." His eyes turned pitch black, as if dyed with ink. He became increasingly bizarre, looking less like a human and more like a demon. Watching his transformation, Liu Ruxu actually revealed a very human-like smile. She let go of his neck and stood there, waiting to see what tricks he would pull. This scene made Wang Ergu feel insulted. "You bully people too much." Suddenly, Wang Ergu shouted. The next second, the earth shook. Countless massive meteorites appeared in the sky, crashing down toward Liu Ruxu with world-destroying momentum. "I don't believe you can block my attack." Wang Ergu stared dead at her. He held nothing back, aiming to take her life. But Liu Ruxu didn't panic at all. Standing stiffly like a corpse, she slowly raised her head to look at the falling meteorites. She extended a slender finger and gently tapped the air toward them. The next second, the surface of the meteorites began to melt. They lost all their momentum and turned into puddles of lava, splashing onto the ground. Wang Ergu looked in disbelief. "Impossible! My full power strike was neutralized so easily?" Seeing Liu Ruxu approaching to take his dog life, Wang Ergu hurriedly knelt and begged for mercy. "Wait! You can't kill me! I wasn't the mastermind! You remember young Master Murong, right? Murong Hua told me to do it. As long as you don't kill me, I'll take you to find him." Wang Ergu realized the gap between them. His ultimate move was solved with a finger tap. How the F Tom CK was he supposed to fight? But Liu Ruxu acted as if she didn't hear him. She flickered and arrived in front of him. This time, she didn't hesitate. Her slender hand pierced directly through Wang Ergu's chest. She pulled out a black heart. Wang Ergu let out a miserable scream and croaked completely. Looking at the black heart, Liu Ruxu felt an instinctive temptation, as if eating it would increase her strength. But in the end, she chose not to. With a slight movement of her palm, the black heart stopped beating and rapidly dried up, turning into powder and blowing away in the wind. It wasn't that she didn't want to eat it, but she wanted to erase every trace of Wang Ergu. After doing this, Liu Ruxu flashed away, reappearing instantly by your side. You were standing on the roof of the teaching building, overlooking the entire school. The Warring States Zombie King was very strong. He was crushing the demons. And since he was your zombie slave, the demons he killed gave you experience points too. So you stayed behind the scenes, enjoying the rewards. You noticed Liu Ruxu the moment she appeared. "Did you take care of it?" you asked, looking up. Liu Ruxu remained expressionless. Her hoarse, emotionless voice spoke slowly. "Help me kill Murong Hua." You raised an eyebrow, then nodded. "Don't worry, he should be in this school." Murong Hua was a student in the same year as you. His family background was extraordinary. His father was a high-ranking official in the capital military district. If you remembered correctly, on the first day of the apocalypse, his father sent a heavily armed squad to extract him. By the mid-apocalypse, the Murong family had established a massive shelter, becoming local emperors. But you didn't care. Even if the Murong family was powerful, they were worthless in front of you, especially since Liu Ruxu asked personally. In that case, come with me to kill this Murong Hua. You took Liu Ruxu's hand. It was very soft, lacking the stiffness of a zombie. This contrasted sharply with you. Although powerful, your body was stiff, like a real corpse. You had no solution for this yet, hoping that increasing your rank would fix it. You focused your gaze on the boys' dormitory. According to your memory, you knew exactly where Murong Hua was. He was doing quite well, having luckily become a Bloodcrest wielder. You pulled Liu Ruxu and vanished, reappearing instantly at the entrance of the boys' dormitory. A massive number of demons were gathered here, but they couldn't get a step closer. A giant, high wall had grown at the gate. It was made entirely of flesh and blood, looking rotten but effectively blocking the invasion. Since most demons had low intelligence, they didn't know to find other entrances. Seeing this flesh wall, a memory surfaced. This wall was a barricade created by a Bloodcrest wielder burning their own life force. It saved the people in the dorm. You kicked the flesh wall. Instantly, it exploded. Go. Murong Hua is on the 3rd floor. You said to Liu Ruxu. She didn't speak and walked straight in. You stayed behind. Seeing the wall vanish, the surrounding demons went mad and rushed toward the opening. However, not a single demon attacked you. Although you had human consciousness, you weren't technically alive. Nor were you a demon, you were in existence in between. Moreover, your aura made them instinctively fearful. You ghostly things, become a part of me. You activated your power. All the demons seemed to freeze, their movements becoming incredibly slow. Their bodies began to shrivel, and streams of blood emerged from them, all converging toward you. Screams rang out as the demons were drained dry, falling to the ground as desiccated corpses. In the blink of an eye, nearly 10,000 demons lost their lives. Your eyes became even redder, looking as if blood would drip from them. This was the new ability you gained after reaching rank 2 blood extraction. It allowed you to absorb the blood of surrounding beings in a large area to restore your life or vitality. What a perverted ability, you sighed. You were now practically a vampire, unbeatable in 1v1, possessing a suppression aura, and now able to AoE lifesteal? Plus, you leveled up by killing. How were others supposed to compete? They couldn't beat you, couldn't tank you, and couldn't outfarm you. All the dead demons turned into balls of experience, merging into you. You had squeezed every drop of value from them. You estimated that killing a few tens of thousands more would get you to rank 4. Inside the boys' dormitory. Because there was no threat from demons, the atmosphere was relatively harmonious. In dorm 303, a boy with dyed green hair was smoking and looking out at the night. Suddenly, another boy burst in, looking anxious. He rushed to the green-haired boy. "Brother Hua, it's bad! The flesh wall blocking the dorm suddenly exploded." Hearing this, Murong Hua's face changed. "What happened? It was fine just a moment ago. Why did it explode?" "It looked like someone kicked it open. And all the demons around the dorm are dead. We don't know who did it." Hearing this, Murong Hua's nervousness vanished, replaced by interest. It seems a powerful Bloodcrest wielder has appeared. Perfect to be this young master's bodyguard. Go out and find this person. If they agree to be my bodyguard, I'll pay them a monthly salary of 1 billion. Hearing Murong Hua's arrogant tone, everyone was amused, but no one dared to question him. Everyone knew Murong Hua had the means. He usually lived in a villa off campus and rarely returned to the dorm. He was just unlucky to be here today. "Brother Hua, I'll go find him for you. Just don't leave me behind when you escape." Several roommates immediately ran out to help Murong Hua find the person. It wasn't a peaceful era anymore. Being a sycophant wasn't shameful. If they could impress Murong Hua, his father's power could ensure their survival. "Don't worry, my dad is a military chief. His men will be here soon. When we build the shelter, there will be a VIP seat for you all," Murong Hua said arrogantly. But just as he was feeling high and mighty, the door was kicked open. Murong Hua looked annoyed. "Who the FCK dares to kick my door?" He turned to look, but his eyes widened instantly. Standing before him was a woman in a strange wedding dress. She had no aura of a living person, radiating a terror that made people tremble. Murong Hua stared, never expecting her to appear. It was Liu Ruxu. As soon as she appeared, the room temperature skyrocketed, reaching hundreds of degrees in the blink of an eye. The air rippled with heat. The ordinary people in the room couldn't withstand it and instantly turned into dried corpses. "How are you here? Aren't you dead?" Murong Hua frowned and immediately activated his blood crest avatar. A black crescent moon pattern appeared on his forehead. Unlike ordinary crests, Murong Hua's belonged to neither the demon nor human category. His body gradually became ethereal, turning into a shadow. "Why did you make Wang Ergu and the others bully me?" Liu Ruxi's eyes were cold, staring dead at him. Murong Hua's fear vanished, replaced by disdain. "Ha ha ha, because I didn't like you. Is there a problem? I wanted Wang Ergu to play with you, but that trash was useless. Since he couldn't handle a girl like you, I had Jiu Ru isolate you instead." Murong Hua laughed, then his eyes turned fierce. Black energy erupted from his hands, surging into the surrounding corpses. A bizarre scene occurred. The dried corpses, devoid of moisture, stood up strangely under the influence of the black energy. They acted like demons, lacking reason and filled with killing intent. "Kill her." Murong Hua spat out 2 words. This was his ability, necromancy, controlling dead bodies. It might not be the strongest in raw power, but its utility was top tier. Hearing the command, the puppet corpses attacked Liu Ruxu without hesitation, clawing like zombies. Liu Ruxu didn't even bother to look at them. With a wave of her hand, the puppets began to melt, turning into ash and vanishing. Murong Hua was surprised. "You have some skill. It seems after dying, you became a monster too. In that case, try this." Murong Hua transformed into a giant black shadow. This was his trump card. It ignored physical damage and allowed him to invade a target's consciousness. If he could invade Liu Ruxu's mind, her life and death would be in his hands. Liu Ruxu tried to attack, but shadow form Murong Hua ignored it completely. "My invincibility only lasts 2.5 seconds, but that's enough to deal with the SL Dal T like you," Murong Hua said coldly. The next second he appeared in front of her. "Even if you reanimated, you're just a woman. Women should obediently kneel at a man's feet." Murong Hua was excited. If he could enslave her consciousness, he would gain a beautiful and powerful servant. He could walk sideways, act with impunity, across Jianghai City, or even the whole Dragon Country. It seemed to go smoothly. But the moment Murong Hua touched Liu Ruxu to invade her mind, he froze. He felt a bizarre power, backfiring on him. Right before his eyes, a handsome figure appeared. His features weren't clear, but his stature was tall and imposing, radiating a terrifying aura like a demon from hell. The next moment, Murong Hua felt a tearing pain in his soul. He screamed and hurriedly withdrew from Liu Ruxu's body. "What the hell are you? Even your consciousness is protected by something." Murong Hua's eyes were filled with shock. If he had been a split second slower, he might have been completely obliterated by that power. Liu Ruxu remained expressionless, launching another lethal strike at Murong Hua. Naturally, the protection over Liu Ruxu's consciousness was your doing. Liu Ruxu was essentially your zombie slave. Murong Hua trying to invade her consciousness was equivalent to trying to steal your property. How could you let him succeed? Even without your protection, Murong Hua's attempt to invade Liu Ruxu was a pipe dream. Although the current Liu Ruxu hadn't reached her peak from your past life, her terror level wasn't something Murong Hua could compare to. Feeling the death threat from Liu Ruxu, Murong Hua no longer dared to underestimate his enemy. Because he was attacked by you, the backlash, his invincibility time, which originally lasted 2.5 seconds, was now reduced to 1 second at most. "No, I have to leave, or I'll die sooner or later." Murong Hua glared viciously at Liu Ruxu, then broke through the window without hesitation. The demons outside had been cleared, giving him a chance to escape. With his strength, as long as he survived this, his future prospects were limitless. Murong Hua was fast, moving like a ghostly shadow. In the blink of an eye, he was outside the dormitory. Outside, everything was blood red. Murong Hua looked ahead and suddenly saw a group of people appearing. He was overjoyed. The arrivals were all from the military. Countless soldiers in camouflage surrounded the area. Although you had eliminated all the demons near the boys' dormitory earlier, the demons were constantly reviving. In just 2.5 minutes, over 1,000 demons had appeared again. Fortunately, most were F or G rank, so the soldiers could barely cope using firearms. All these soldiers wore an eagle pattern on their armbands, symbolizing a specific organization. Help me! I am Murong Qingshan's son, Murong Hua. Seeing these soldiers, Murong Hua instantly felt safe, as if seeing family. In an instant, all the soldiers' eyes focused on Murong Hua. At this moment, Murong Hua looked exceptionally bizarre, like a deep ghostly shadow emitting strange black energy. Seeing this, the soldiers turned their guns toward him, fearing he might do something terrifying. Then, an officer approached Murong Hua. I am Black Hawk, captain of the Falcon Squad. I was ordered by your father to extract you. This team was Murong Qingshan's ace squad. Before the disaster, the Falcon Squad was a force feared by the whole world. Every member could be considered a human killing machine. Hearing this, Murong Hua was ecstatic. Great! But there's a demon chasing me from behind. Help me kill her quickly! After speaking, he hid directly behind the soldiers. Now he felt completely confident. No matter how terrifying Liu Ruxu was, in front of his father's A squad, she only had a dead end. In the blink of an eye, Liu Ruxu appeared again. Her goal was clear, to kill the mastermind, Murong Hua. Everything she had suffered had to be repaid twofold. Stand down! Are you human or demon? Seeing Liu Ruxu appear, Black Hawk immediately shouted. Liu Ruxu's demeanor was exceptionally strange. She didn't look like a Bloodcrest wielder, nor did she look exactly like a demon. But Black Hawk could confirm one thing. Liu Ruxu's strength was terrifying. He even felt that all of them combined might not be a match for her alone. Hearing Black Hawk, Liu Ruxu glanced at him coldly. In an instant, Black Hawk felt as if he were being stared at by a vengeful ghost. His hair stood on end, and cold sweat broke out on his back. Liu Ruxu spoke slowly. I only kill him. Step aside. Hearing this, Black Hawk's eyes became firm. No, perhaps you have a grudge against him, but now that the disaster has erupted, can't you put aside your hatred for now? Young lady, listen to my advice. You may be strong, but he is Murong Qingshan's son. Don't do anything impulsive. Black Hawk's tone was firm. Although he also found Murong Hua annoying and knew the guy must have wronged Liu Ruxu, he couldn't watch Murong Hua be killed. Hearing this, Liu Ruxu's eyes became even darker. The lives of the rich and powerful are lives, but is my life not a life? They united to humiliate me and forced me to death. Was all of that my fault? Liu Ruxu's aura erupted completely. Seeing this, Black Hawk didn't hesitate and ordered to fire. Countless bullets poured toward Liu Ruxu like a flood. The nearby Bloodcrest wielders in the squad were also eager to try. If anything went wrong, they would attack immediately. Hiding in the back, Murong Hua sneered. Little b asterisk TCH, do you know why I let them bully you? I'll tell you the truth. It's because of your high and mighty attitude. Damn it, I can play with any woman I want, but you dared to refuse me? You deserve to die. As Murong Hua spoke, the soldiers stopped firing. Everything seemed to return to calm. As the smoke cleared, everyone looked at Liu Ruxu's position without blinking. But the next second, everyone was shocked. Liu Ruxu was unharmed, as if the attack just now was child's play. So that's it, I understand. Liu Ruxu was originally dead eyes, revealed a trace of clarity, but she made no movement, standing there like a complete corpse. Suddenly, screams rang out. The people who had attacked Liu Ruxu just now suddenly began to burn. The flames seemed to ignite from within their bodies, constantly incinerating their internal organs. In the blink of an eye, 8.5 people died. Not good! Do it! Kill her! Murong Hua roared in terror. The dozen or so Bloodcrest wielders around him didn't hesitate and charged at Liu Ruxu. Although few in number, they had all reached rank 2, they could be considered slightly larger ants. Just as they were about to reach Liu Ruxu, you, the handsome devil, made your grand entrance. Immediately, a suffocating voice rang out. I'd like to see who dares to touch her. You looked at these people with contempt, treating them as if they didn't exist. This was true disdain. No matter how strong these Bloodcrest wielders were, they were ultimately just ants. Beside you were the Warring States Zombie King and Liu Yi. Facing the siege of these Bloodcrest wielders, your group unleashed their full auras without holding back. Seeing this, the Bloodcrest wielders, including Murong Hua, were stunned. The beings standing before them didn't seem human, but like powerful, terrifying, evil gods. Everyone looked panicked. Just one look gave them the feeling of staring into the abyss. They could easily handle ordinary demons, and barely manage slightly stronger ones. But right now, they couldn't help but feel fear, even an urge to submit. Who is your excellency? Do you intend to make an enemy of the military by protecting a demon? Blackhawk looked at you seriously. He clearly understood your power, and knew that even if everyone present attacked together, they were no match for you. So he could only try to stall for time while secretly contacting headquarters for backup. Soon, they received exciting news. Another Bloodcrest squad was rushing over. It was a powerful team of over 100 people. Blackhawk secretly rejoiced. Great! With the support of that squad, we can definitely solve these monsters. You looked at Blackhawk, your expression growing colder. Although this squad also wore camouflage, they were different from the Zhao Shan squad you met earlier. They were probably a mixed force from somewhere else. But no matter where they came from, you didn't care about their power. You said contemptuously to Blackhawk, "I'll give you 2.5 seconds to consider. Either die here or roll back to where you came from." Blackhawk was furious. Having fought on the battlefield for years, he had never seen anyone so arrogant. You smiled disdainfully. "It seems you want to die. In that case, I'll fulfill your wish." You ordered the Warring States Zombie King, kill them. The Warring States Zombie King was an S-rank demon. His power was extraordinary. A ragtag team of Bloodcrest wielders couldn't possibly stop him. To you, he was just a lackey, but to the rest of Dragon Country, he was a terror capable of destroying countless cities. Facing the Zombie King, no one dared to be careless. If they couldn't even handle the follower of that man, it would be too shameful. Just then, a noise came from outside the school. Countless demons were cleared out as a group of camouflage-clad soldiers approached. Seeing this, the corners of your mouth lifted slightly. It was Zhao Shan's squad, whom you had met before. Blackhawk, seeing them, was also overjoyed. His look toward you became arrogant. "You think you're strong? I've got over 100 Bloodcrest wielders here now. I don't believe we can't kill you." Murong Hua leaned into Blackhawk's ear curiously. "Are these our reinforcements?" Blackhawk nodded. Although he didn't want to deal with this idiot Murong Hua, now wasn't the time for infighting. He explained patiently, "Among these Bloodcrest wielders, many have reached rank 2. Their strength is top tier in the entire Dragon Country." Hearing this, Murong Hua almost laughed out loud. He stuck his butt out and walked arrogantly to the front of the crowd, shouting, "Our reinforcements are here! Now you can't fly away, even with wings. Liu Ruxu, you SLT. I'll shatter your soul in a moment," you frowned. "Is this idiot Murong Hua?" Liu Ruxu nodded stiffly. Seeing this, you couldn't be bothered to waste words with this clown. You reached out directly to slap his skull. In an instant, Murong Hua felt a powerful threat of death. He didn't hesitate to activate his Bloodcrest avatar, turning his body into a shadow. This move could ignore all physical damage, but then a bizarre thing happened. Murong Hua, who should have been immune to physical damage, couldn't block your attack at all. He felt as if his neck was being choked hard, the sensation of death engulfing him. Murong Hua looked at you in disbelief. "Impossible. I am invincible." You didn't want to waste breath on such a fool. You activated your power to erase him. Murong Hua shouted in a trembling voice, "You can't kill me. My dad is Murong Qingshan." As soon as he finished speaking, a strange red light swallowed him. In an instant, Murong Hua lost consciousness completely and dissipated from the world. "His name is Murong Qingshan? What a good son. I'll kill your dad too when I get the chance," you said casually. Killing Murong Hua was as easy as crushing an ant. You actually killed Murong Hua. You've eaten the heart of a bear and the gall of a leopard. You have immense gall. Blackhawk broke down completely. Now that Mukwa was dead, he was responsible. If Mukong Qingshan found out, he would surely die. Warring States Zombie King, kill these people. You issued the command. The battle erupted instantly. The Bloodcrest wielders were no match for the Zombie King and were suppressed immediately. Blackhawk frowned, staring at Zhao Shan's squad. "What are you doing? Come help quickly." Zhao Shan shook his head. "Sorry. If I knew the person you were dealing with was my big brother, I wouldn't have come even if you beat me to death." "What the hell are you saying? This man killed Murong Qingshan's son. If you don't help, you'll suffer the consequences. Black Hawk used Murong Hua to threaten him, knowing that Zhao Shan's squad was his only hope of survival. But Zhao Shan looked helpless. Save you? With what? Even if all 100 of us attack together, we aren't a match for one of Big Brother Zhou's fingers. Times have changed. Even if you are Murong Hwa's ace squad, you are just ants before Big Brother Zhou, Zhao Shan said coldly. As a fellow Bloodcrest wielder, he saw the situation clearer than Blackhawk and understood the gap in strength between himself and you. Blackhawk looked incredulous. Are you joking? How can one person be so strong? Just as he finished speaking, the ghost-like figure of the Warring States Zombie King appeared in front of him. A tattered but all-cutting longsword instantly pierced Blackhawk's body. Damn it! Blackhawk let out a wail and died unwillingly. With Blackhawk's death, this Bloodcrest squad was completely wiped out. Watching this, your heart remained calm, as if watching something ordinary. In this era of survival of the fittest, only the truly strong had a chance to live. Zhao Shan walked over and said respectfully, Big Brother Zhou, these were forces from the capital. I apologize deeply for this matter. Also, thank you for helping us clear the demons here. You waved your hand indifferently and said casually, this school's location isn't bad. It would be nice if a shelter could be built here. Zhao Shan was smart and immediately understood. Big Brother Zhou, leave this small matter to us. Within a month, at most, this place will be transformed into a shelter, and the master of this shelter will naturally be you, Big Brother Zhou. Seeing how sensible Zhao Shan was, you patted his shoulder encouragingly. Work hard, young man. In the future, I'll try to find you a few more sisters-in-law. Zhao Shan was thrilled and bowed with cupped fists. Thank you, Big Brother Zhou. Your little brother will not disappoint you. Now that the demons in the school were mostly cleared, and even the B-rank demon had fled, Zhao Shan suggested resting and holding a celebration banquet in the evening after Captain Lai finished his business. You didn't speak, but looked at the distant horizon. Unknowingly, the sky was about to brighten. Due to the blood moon's descent, the night was significantly prolonged. Later on, daylight would only last a few hours. Feeling the approaching dawn, you suddenly felt a strong sense of disgust. Legend has it that zombies fear the sun, and Jiang Chen, as the ancestor of vampires, was no exception. Although daylight wouldn't harm you, you instinctively loathed it. Thinking of this, you nodded to Zhao Shan. Zhao Shan was overjoyed and led his soldiers to rally the survivors. The Warring States Zombie King, being a demon, didn't want to appear during the day either. He summoned a huge coffin and lay down in it. As for Liu Yi, she was also preparing to find a place to rest. Although she was a Bloodcrest wielder, the night's battle had exhausted her, and she was filthy. Big brother, let's go rest. I'm so dirty. Go by yourself. I have other things to do, you said casually. All right then, Liu Yi said helplessly. You ignored her and took Liu Ruxu's hand, walking toward a nearby temple. According to your past life memories, a tree of miracles would be born in this temple. Arriving at the temple gate, you felt no demons. The sky was dimly lit, and most demons had gone into hiding, though a few anomalies might still be active. You looked up at the plaque, Green Dragon Temple. This was the largest temple in Jianghai City, said to have been built over 1,000 years ago, with deep cultural heritage. Walking in, you saw ruins. There was no peace left here. It looked like an execution ground. You pulled Liu Ruxu toward the interior. It was very quiet, as if all the monks had fled. You checked the nearby rooms. The first was empty, the second was empty, the third was different. It was clean with no blood. You looked at the tidy bed and found something strange. Looking closer, your face darkened. It was a nun's room. Nuns have it tough too, you sighed. Liu Ruxu leaned over. What is that? She could communicate simply now, though her voice remained hoarse and stiff. Nothing. Just a toy. Let's look ahead. You brushed it off and quickly dragged her away. Following your memory, you arrived in front of the Maitreya Hall. A huge golden Buddha statue was enshrined there. The Buddha was broad and fat, looking at you with a faint smile that felt eerie. In front of the statue, countless corpses lay scattered, mostly monks, with some demons. These corpses emitted strange black energy which was converging in the center. In the middle sat a skeleton wearing a brocade kasaya, monk's robe. From the skull of this skeleton, a brilliant, bewitching flower was growing out of thin air. Seeing this bizarre scene, you weren't afraid. Instead, your lips curled up. The flower before you was the flower of miracles. Soon, it would bear a miracle fruit, but you had no patience to wait. You grabbed the flower and put it in your mouth without hesitation. Without the flower, the skeleton instantly withered and turned to dust. The moment you swallowed the flower, you felt a surge of majestic energy. It was domineering, impacting your internal organs. Although it hadn't borne fruit yet, the energy wasn't diminished. It was even more aggressive. If a normal person ate it, they would be eroded by the power and turn into a monster. Waiting for the fruit would make the energy milder for humans. But your body was indestructible. This energy couldn't hurt you at all. You refined the energy and felt a pleasure like never before. The next second, you successfully broke through to rank 4. You gained another terrifying ability, Blood God Clone. This ability allowed you to refine the blood in your body into blood suns. Each blood sun was an extra life for you. Later on, endless blood suns could form a boundless sea of blood. As long as the blood sea existed, you were truly immortal. Although rank 4 inches was your rating, your true combat power exceeded rank 8 or even rank 9 blood crest wielders. As for demons, unless it was a double S rank, nothing could threaten you. Legend says Zhang Chen possessed the power to destroy heaven and earth. Although you weren't that strong yet, you were beginning to show that potential. After you became stronger, Liu Ruxu seemed to change slightly too. Her brow furrowed and her eyes became clearer. Initially, she only had pure hatred and little self-awareness, but as time passed and your strength increased, her consciousness was reviving. As your zombie slave, she benefited from your growth. You were curious. She looked more and more like a living person. Does she have a heartbeat? You placed your hand on her heart. It felt soft and slightly cold, but you could faintly feel a slow beat. She was a zombie, but not truly dead, wandering between life and death. You released your hand. She hadn't resisted. You wondered if you were seeing things, but her cheeks seemed slightly flushed. You smiled. Can she feel shy? Let's check the heartbeat again. You remembered she bit you when you first kissed her. You wondered if that was instinct or consciousness. Feeling her heartbeat again, her reaction was more obvious. She trembled slightly, her eyes becoming misty. You looked at the sky. It was getting late, early morning. Since you got the flower, it was time to leave. But just as you were leaving, a crisp sound came from a nearby room. You frowned and flashed to the source. A black figure appeared. A girl who looked only in her teens, wearing a yellow dress, eyes full of terror. Seeing you, she tried to run. Normally, you wouldn't care about a little girl, but she was different. You saw blood crests on her body, not tattoos, but real crests. And the quality was extremely high, at least S rank. Even more shocking was the quantity. She had awakened multiple crests simultaneously. Could she be the Empress from my past life? You chased her. Although she had power, she couldn't control it well. She was fast, but slow compared to you. You observed her from behind. She had 11 blood crests, and her strength was already a terrifying rank 3. A normal rank 3 was a pillar of strength. With 11 crests, she rivaled rank 4 or 5. Only 11 crests? Not the Empress, who had 18. Maybe she will find opportunities to awaken more later. Seeing you chase her, the girl panicked. One of her crests lit up red, and a 3-legged golden crow made of fire appeared and attacked you. You frowned and blocked it. It didn't hurt you, but the power was immense, comparable to multiple missiles exploding. Interesting. Seeing you unharmed, the girl was even more terrified. In her panic, she ran into the temple's basement. As the door opened, a cold wind blew. Your instincts warned you something was wrong inside, but the girl had no choice and ran in. There's something strange in this basement. A powerful demon? You weren't afraid. With your strength and Liu Ruxu, you could handle it. You followed her in. The basement wasn't large. After a short passage, it opened up. It wasn't scary, just damp. No demons were visible. Suddenly, a scream rang out. You rushed to the girl. She was trembling uncontrollably, staring at the wall. You looked. On the wall was a massive, terrifying black ghost shadow. It had no clear outline, like a spirit. A bizarre crimson eye hung on it, blinking at you. And pierced through the shadow was a pitch-black longsword. The sword seemed to have been corrupted by the shadow over time. What is this thing? Even with your rebirth, you hadn't seen this. You judged the shadow was sealed by the sword. However, you made a judgment. The ghost shadow before you seemed sealed by the longsword. Once the sword's power was exhausted, the shadow would undoubtedly emerge and bring disaster to the world. You had to eliminate this threat early to avoid future trouble. The fact that you hadn't seen this in your past life only proved you hadn't lived long enough then. Perhaps decades later, it would have caused an extinction-level event. But you didn't act immediately. Instead, you let Liu Ruxu test the monster's terror. If she can't handle it, then I'll step in. Liu Ruxu nodded slightly. Instantly, the basement temperature spiked. A terrifying fire snake lunged at the shadow, flicking its tongue as if to devour it. However, a shocking scene unfolded. The shadow acted like a black hole capable of devouring everything. The moment it touched the fire snake, it swallowed it whole. Liu Ruxu's power vanished as if it never existed. Seeing this, Liu Ruxu refused to accept defeat. She summoned even more terrifying power. Scorching magma appeared from her hands and shot toward the shadow. But the result was the same. The shadow swallowed Liu Ruxu's power again. The demon suppressed here seemed capable of devouring everything in the world. Furthermore, it lacked a physical body, which perfectly countered your blood extraction ability. In that case, I'll try refining it directly. Saying that, you moved to act. Just then, the ghost eye on the shadow's forehead sensed something and spun uneasily. A red light swept toward you. You suddenly felt your consciousness being invaded, as if the eye wanted to rewrite your thoughts. You didn't dare be careless and blocked it immediately. The ghost eye seemed to realize it couldn't affect you, so it targeted the little girl nearby. The red light swept over her body. Instantly, terror appeared on her face. Although she possessed strong power, her mental fortitude was weak. Facing such horror, she instinctively felt fear. Seeing this, you didn't hesitate. You grabbed the shadow's neck. The moment you made contact, you felt a massive suction force, as if your soul were being devoured by the shadow. Refine! Fearless, you pushed all the power in your body to suppress the shadow. Under your continuous pressure, the shadow's body became agitated, struggling frantically to break free. But it was futile. Its body was already suppressed by the sword, and facing you now, it had no ability to resist. The originally black shadow was gradually being refined into blood red by you. This was an experiment. You had infected humans into zombies before, but never a demon. To you, demons were usually just experience points. But clearly, this attempt was successful. If nothing went wrong, this shadow would soon become your slave. Time passed. Seconds felt like years. Most of the shadow had turned a bizarre red, and even the black sword was fading, turning blood red. But just as you thought it was done, an accident occurred. The shadow revealed a ferocious, sentient face, looking as if it wanted to swallow you whole. The scarlet ghost eye spun uneasily, its red light staring at you again. You were instantly annoyed and roared, "What are you looking at? Try looking again!" But the ghost eye didn't stop. It stared straight at you. You asked for it as you spoke. You gouged the ghost eye out with your hand. Squelch. You ripped the eye right out. The shadow let out a miserable scream. You threw the ghost eye into your mouth, chewed it crunch crunch, and swallowed it with satisfaction. The taste is special, like eating jelly. Seeing this scene, the ghost shadow head panicked. Ignoring everything else, it detached its head from its body to escape. Want to run? In your dreams. You tried to control the head, but suddenly, the entire basement began to collapse, losing its structural integrity. The intangible ghost shadow head ignored the debris and flew straight toward the surface. You glanced at the little girl. After weighing the options, you decided to give up the chase to save her. Although she was a Bloodcrest wielder, getting buried underground would kill her. You grabbed the little girl and, with Liu Ruxu, exited the basement. You brought out the ghost shadow body and the corroded longsword. A stream of information appeared in your mind. Terror, ghost shadow, capable of splicing any body parts. Scarlet ghost eye, activated, sees through all illusions and can invade human consciousness. Evil sword Yuan-Tu. The stronger the killing intent, the stronger its effect. You had completely mastered these 3 items. Suddenly, a heat rose in your forehead. The terrifying scarlet ghost eye had become a part of you. Not parasitic, but fully under your control. Next was the terror ghost shadow. Because it lacked a corpse and the head had fled, it lost its consciousness. Instinctively, it appeared beneath you, gradually covering your original shadow and becoming part of you. Looking at your headless shadow, you frowned. You originally wanted to refine it into a zombie, not this. But it didn't seem bad. After obtaining the shadow and eye, you found your physical body became more agile, no longer as stiff as before. This ghost shadow is an incredible existence. At least double S rank, you thought. You looked at the sword. Evil sword you want to. The blade was incredibly sharp, emitting a strange crimson glow like never-drying blood. It possessed endless killing intent, which was how it imprisoned the shadow. A god-tier weapon, but one must possess stronger killing intent than the sword to master it, or face backlash. Easy for me. You grasped the sword easily. In your hands, it would erupt with even more terrifying power. Thank you for earlier, the little girl suddenly spoke. She had been afraid of you, but after you fought the shadow to save her, she changed her mind. She was young, but she could distinguish right from wrong. I'm leaving. You should go too. You waved your hand casually. This girl awakened 11 blood crests simultaneously. Even if she wasn't the future empress, she would become a powerhouse in time. The girl hesitated, then asked, "Can you tell me your name?" "Sorry about before. I thought you and she were both zombies." You thought for a moment and spat out 2 words. Zheng Chen. You didn't give your real name. A code name was enough. I am Bo Tiangxin. The girl gave her name. You nodded, took Liu Ruxu's hand, and left. The ghost shadow head had escaped, but you didn't plan to let it go. Even as just a head, its terror level could still bring disaster. After you left, Bo Tiangxin walked aimlessly in another direction. As she walked, her clothes dissolved, and her snow-white skin became covered in various blood-colored tattoos. Bizarre and enchanting, she leaped, transforming into a black phoenix. I didn't expect to meet such a powerful human. Even the ghost shadow wasn't his match. I must get stronger quickly, Bo Tianxin muttered. She wasn't a living human either. She was a bizarre existence, wandering between life and death. But unlike you, who leaned toward human, she leaned toward demon. Meanwhile, beside you, Liu Ruxu suddenly spoke. That little girl is strange. She hides a stronger power. You nodded. I know, ignore it. You didn't take it to heart. With your current strength, you easily spotted her secret, but exposing it was boring. All right, the ghost shadow head is in that mall ahead, you pointed. After obtaining the ghost eye, you could open a ghost domain covering dozens of miles. Within this range, you were omniscient and omnipotent, spotting every hidden detail. I'll deal with him. Liu Ruxu was acting more like a living person. She had lost face against the shadow earlier and wanted to reclaim it. She entered the mall first. The mall was quiet, with blood on the ground but no bodies. Very suspicious. Your ghost eye scanned and locked onto the target, a giant round panda plushie. It looked cute, but through the fabric you saw the hidden ghost shadow. It's this doll. You slashed immediately with your sword. Liu Ruxu didn't hesitate either, summoning magma to attack the panda. Instantly, the doll revealed a hideous expression and lunged at a nearby female mannequin, or survivor. The doll had corpseified, becoming a terrifying corpse beast. Go to hell. Radiating endless killing intent, the Yuan-Tu sword slashed through everything. Without suspense, the panda doll was chopped to pieces. Even the ghost head inside was split in 2. The next second, magma engulfed the pieces, burning them. Still not dead? You were surprised. Even cut in half and burned, it showed no sign of dying. I have to refine it, you thought. The best way to deal with a bodiless demon was to make it a slave. The ghost head tried to run, but your King's Aura caged it. It whimpered. To avoid being refined, it chose to self-destruct. Boom! The explosion didn't hurt you or Liu Ruxu. You frowned, sensing something wrong. It didn't self-destruct to kill you, but to attract demons. You sensed demons from miles around gathering here. A massive horde, enough to cause a catastrophe for the country. But you felt no fear. You actually wanted to thank the ghost head. You thought farming XP was slow, but now the head brought the farm to you, saving you the travel time. Confident you can handle this? You asked Liu Ruxu. She didn't speak, just nodded. You smiled. In that case, let's split up and wipe them out. It was daytime. The demons were weakened. You and Liu Ruxu began the slaughter. F-rank demons were like ants. With the Yuan-Tu sword, even E ranks were effortless. Shanghai Military District. Captain Li felt refreshed. While the rest of Dragon Country suffered heavy casualties, Zhanghai was different. The biggest demon cluster, 100,000 plus, had been cleared by you, the handsome devil. He was preparing to meet you when a soldier called urgently. "Captain! Bad news! A massive demon horde appeared in the suburbs. Estimated 300,000 demons!" Captain Lai froze. "What? Say that again? How many?" He was stunned. 300,000 demons could destroy a city. He only had 200 Bloodcrest wielders. Even killing 300,000 pigs would kill them from exhaustion. "Captain, it's 300,000. And that's a conservative estimate," the soldier said timidly. Captain Lai collapsed to the floor. "What do we do? Fight to the death or run?" 300,000 demons. Even national forces couldn't handle that easily, and no one would send help to Zhanghai now. "Mom, Dad, your son is unfilial and can't avenge you," Li muttered, writing his will with trembling hands. He turned to his subordinate. Quote, "Mobilize all soldiers, evacuate the citizens. All combat-ready troops to the battlefield." His voice trembled. He knew they couldn't win, but as the commander, he couldn't retreat without a fight. Just then, the soldier's phone rang. He listened, then looked ecstatic. "Captain, no need for wills. The situation has changed. The gentleman, you, is fighting the demons. And it's a one-sided massacre." Li was shocked. "You mean Zohaloshin is fighting hundreds of thousands of demons alone?" He sucked in a cold breath. "Is he human? Even pinching 300,000 ants to death takes time." "Damn it! I was ready to die, and now you tell me I don't have to?" Li shouted angrily, but his smile betrayed him. He realized your power was on a different level. If you wanted, you could rule the entire Dragon Country. You had killed over 200,000 demons. You weren't tired. You were excited. Unfortunately, you still hadn't broken through to rank 5. You needed too much energy, and low-level demons gave too little. "I need another way to improve," you thought. It was noon. The sun was annoying. Not dangerous, just disgusting to you. You decided to rest until night. You found a villa, climbed through the window, and went to the bedroom. It was empty. You found men's clothes in the closet and went to the bathroom to shower. Although you were a zombie, you kept human habits. You turned the water to the hottest setting, though you couldn't feel the heat. You washed for 2.5 minutes. Suddenly, the door opened. A young married woman in a long dress walked in holding supplies. Seeing you shirtless, she was shocked and lowered her head shyly. Then, terror filled her face. "Who are you? Why are you in my room?" Due to her fear, her chest heaved violently, a magnificent sight that you enjoyed. "This is your house? Sorry. I saw the room was empty and took a shower." "Then why aren't you wearing clothes? Walking around naked in broad daylight?" she scolded, peeking through her fingers. Your zombie body was pale but fit and attractive. She couldn't help but look. "Who wears clothes in the shower?" you thought, speechless. You looked her over. Under 30, mature and alluring. "I saw men's clothes. Are they your husband's?" you asked. "Yes." "What about it?" "Where is he?" She looked lost and didn't answer. You understood. He was dead. In the apocalypse, life was cheap. "Are you a legendary Bloodcrest wielder?" she asked suddenly. Your silver hair and red eyes gave you away. "How do you know about that?" "People in the community said so. A guy here awakened water powers and became the leader. He controls the food." She moved closer. "Since you are one, what is your ability?" "Can you show me?" "I'll show you something good too." Her intent was obvious. "Find a strong backer. My ability isn't convenient to show, but you'll know in a moment." You didn't resist. You hugged her waist. She was pretty, but not enough to bewitch you. You did this only to test one thing. After becoming a zombie, did you still possess the instincts of a man?